Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Infernal Shrines Game 2 between Mighty and 1.4.
Oh, and Mighty actually gets the first ban.
Yeah. Looks like 1.4 just wanted this map specifically, which is really interesting. Now,
Yeah.
you're going to see a first Uther ban.
Okay, and now it's like down to oh, Zagara. I'm a little bit surprised by that. You know what? This is kind of interesting because Tyrande obviously is going to be picked up like almost every time, but that gives the other team Kael'thas.
Right, and that's exactly what we're going to see here. 1.4 will take Kael'thas here no matter what. Like,
yeah, this map is special. Oh, whoa. No, they didn't take him at all. Okay, so what this tells me is they're going for a team fight composition, most likely here. Jaina for slowing heroes, of course, Johanna with all of her peel and the pull-ins and all that. Obviously, those two heroes combo very well together also, but like, that's kind of funny because Kael'thas is like, he blows up those shrines after 13 like nobody's business. And even before that, he's very, very strong at clearing the map objective.
You give Kael'thas to this team. They're also, Thrall is still available as well. We saw him banned last game, and suddenly you give a very powerful composition to Mighty.
Yeah.
And let's see if this works out. I mean, we did see Johanna last game picked early as well. They are going to ban Diablo this time, so they will prevent that duo.
Mm-hmm. And I'm not surprised, by the way, that they grabbed Thrall. Thrall is like kind of considered the counter to Kael'thas at the moment, so seems like a good pick. And the Diablo ban, not bad at all.
Yeah.
If they're not going to take Diablo, you don't want Diablo in there with Tyrande. And I mean, look at this. You have a root and 2 stuns already. So absolutely don't give them Diablo.
Let's see who Mighty wants to ban here. I think banning a support is not a bad idea, depending on who they want to ban. They're actually going to take Falstad away, though, from Minapong. So he's not going to be able to be a game changer here.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting choice.
You know, he gets banned on the second ban, a surprising amount in Korea and China. And, you know, there's definitely games where I'm like, wow, the Falstad just, you know, he did it. But more often than not, that's not what I see from him. So
I think Falstad adds a lot of variance to the game right now because you never really know how the Mighty Gusts are going to go until that moment, and it can change an entire fight.
Yeah.
It can ruin you. It can save somebody. It's an insanely useful talent.
And the cooldown is insanely low. Like,
Yeah.
you use Mighty Gus all game long.
Kharazim is going to get picked up here, though, as the support on the side of 1.4. Now, they are still missing some damage. Vala, okay, I was going to say Vala or Raynor would do well here. Would have expected Raynor, but Vala seems to be a little bit more popular in Korea. In the past few weeks, even, like, we're seeing her banned and picked a lot earlier than I would have expected.
She's got some new builds out here. You know, getting range and frost shot or whatever that's called, as well as building in Q, just not getting the life gain, so she can like poke a little bit better and slow a little bit better. So definitely seen a resurgence. I've tried that build quite a bit. It's quite nice.
The frost is so great. Ooh, they're gonna take Stitches themselves. Wow.
This is really cool to see Stitches in play so much here tonight.
Yeah, he's such a fun, you know, he's just a fun hero because he just is insanely game-changing. And we're gonna see Greymane picked again.
Oh my god, I love it!
So now we could really take a closer look at what he's building and look at how he builds differently. This will free up Kerrigan, though, for 1.4, which is an interesting pick because I feel their comp will not revolve around her.
No, definitely. I have to agree with you on that. That is a really, really cool pick. In fact, you even look at Kharazim. This is not necessarily a hero that even heals well onto Kerrigan. You normally want like a burst heal on a melee assassin like that, but as we've been talking about, this is kind of a kill your opponent's heroes type of composition, so I guess it'll work fine.
Now, this is going to be really interesting. Both teams actually have quite a bit of poke. And we're going to see, I feel like a lot of the fights on the shrines will simply be both teams on the outside of it, on the left and right side, poking into it.
Yeah, I think you're about right there.
Well, the game's countdown has begun, guys. We are going to go into game number 2, 1.4 versus Mighty, here at the Heroes of the Storm Super League, hosted by OGN. Let's jump into game 2. All right. On the blue side again is Mighty. Playing Tyrande, Stitches, Kael'thas, Thrall, and Greymane.
Very, very cool draft here, I do have to say. course, their opponents over here, 1.4. Bringing to the table Kerzim, Vala, Kerrigan, Jaina, and Johanna. Who do you think actually won this draft?
I want to go with Mighty, but it's like really hard to say, to be honest.
Yeah, these drafts are just going a little bit different than what the meta has been for the past few weeks, to the point where it's a little bit difficult to really put your finger on it. But I gotta say, whenever I see Kael'thas and Tyrande on one team, I gotta go with them, especially on this map.
I'd have to agree with that sentiment. What I would say I'm most excited for is Daisy on Kerrigan, because we knew that was going to be what they were looking for last game.
Absolutely. Daisy's a fantastic Kerrigan. Used her a lot through the qualifier. Well, I guess they didn't play a lot of games there, but used Kerrigan in the qualifier.
Sure. Well, big engage here at level 1, and no real big trade either way. I'm going to go to lanes now.
Yeah, once again, by the way, we do have that kind of poke/heal build here from Tyrande. So it'll be interesting to see that come into play here once again.
Yep, same with the cocktail build for Greymane, so let's see how he decides to roll with this. Ooh, jumping onto Minapong here, nearly killing him there.
But you know that cocktail build actually clears minions really, really fast as well, so definitely going to be useful on the shrines.
Uh-oh, Minapong coming in here on Mighty Rory, stuns to save himself.
Wow.
Very well done there.
That was a really good Frostwolf right there. Like, there was definitely a chance he was going down if he did not stun specifically Vala, because all the cooldowns were down on Kerrigan, so that was the right stun. I would have stunned Kerrigan. I'd be like, oh no, it's Kerrigan! But she already used all her moves.
Yep, that was a really well-made decision very quickly. Looks like Minapong is actually kind of the target here. Everyone is really after him. It's almost like Mighty's a bit concerned of dealing with him in this series overall. All right, the first shrine is active.
Alrighty, we do have Kael'thas kind of out of position here. Definitely will want to clear that lane before going up. They've already started as well. Oh, by the way, this is a cool thing. Obviously, like Corrosive Bile and just like Stitches overall with his Bile is fantastic on these shrines.
Yep.
The hook is a little bit harder to land because there's so many little dudes in the way, but like overall, he's a very strong hero here.
He really is, because the last hit on the minion is all that matters. So you know, if he just burns him out, then that's all you need. That damage over time. So. All right, we're going to see this fight occur. Notice that Thrall and Vala are taking their time to rotate down. Thrall wants to get a little bit more EXP.
There you have the hook actually hitting one of these Guardians.
Daisy jumping in, and combo totally whiffed, though. Kong will still go down immediately. Daisy will follow right afterwards. A very aggressive Kerrigan jump in. Suri is going to go down as well. This is going to be a great first team fight for Mighty.
Oh! Sickest hook right there.
Hitman, how do you like it?
Yeah, really. Very, very well done.
Our interviewer freaking out about that one, too.
Yeah, that kind of that was kind of quick and down and dirty right there. So to have this slight edge right now for Mighty, definitely very nice for them.
Yeah, and the first Punisher is not the most drastic Punisher, but it's going to be an arcane Punisher, so it becomes a lot more powerful. Hitting 7 first is quite important. I feel overall on this map.
Yeah. Well, you know, if you do have like just a couple talents up as the first few shrines come out, you just like you run away with the experience kind of. The opposing team kind of has to like wipe you and take a shrine later on to get that unlocked experience, but it only pushes one lane, which makes it a bit harder than the Webweaver map that we just saw.
And when you hit 7, when the next shrine comes up, usually you're at 8, and if they don't have 7 when you're at 8, then you're going to get 10 100%. Like, no matter what happens on that fight, you always walk away with 10. And so you get your heroics, and it's a bit of a snowball. I feel like this map has been changed quite a bit since it was initially released. In Korea especially, I know in some European teams, people are really complaining about this map being the quote-unquote snowball map. But it has been changed a bit. But I still feel that things can really run away from you on this map quite quickly.
Yeah, it's I would say the biggest comebacks that I see here are generally when Kael'thas teams are behind and then end up blowing up everything on the shrine, like without you having any say over it. But the one way that we definitely could see some comebacks here as well, I would say, is if we just get like a nice team wipe from 1.4, like if they catch Kael'thas out of position or something like we saw last week.
Yeah, and always keep a close eye on Daisy, because she's going to be the playmaker, or he in this case on Kerrigan. She's going to be making the plays with how she can jump in and do multiple stuns and really lock up a team.
Yeah. I mean, especially when Jaina just drops a blizzard on everyone, that's when we're going to see Kerrigan just kind of go to town and deal so much damage.
They are going to grab one of these turrets now. We've pushed away. Look at that Grenade and Cocktail doing even a lot of damage to Johanna.
And as we see for the builds right now, everything continued kind of like we were saying. We see the follow through on Thrall, so just really trying to deal a lot of damage very quickly. Very common to see that on him, and it is that W plus Q build for Valla, going for Hungering Arrow and the range there on her multi-shot.
Now for Kael'thas is actually going to upgrade his Gravity Lapse as well. He's not going to try to do any Gathering Power or anything crazy like that. And we're going to see this next shrine available. Remember, getting 10 here is really important, and it may actually happen within this fight. I like the idea to push this lane because they have better wave clear. Because if they get 10 in the middle of this fight, they win the fight almost every time.
Oh yeah, yeah. If you get 10 and you aren't already like missing someone, you're pretty good to go right there. And really, even when you look at the heroes they have, it's like, yeah, 10 is pretty good for these guys.
Interesting that Kong is trying to get them 10 before actually coming up to engage. It's 20 and 20. Cocktail's actually stealing a lot of those minion kills.
Yeah, it really is. He's timing that out quite well. We do have Blessing coming out, trying to zone everyone. Little lane clear going on by Hitman.
All right, here we go with this next Flame Strike. They will hit 10. And we're going to see that engage. Down goes a little bit of damage onto Daisy. Here comes the Phoenix. Oh, he canceled it.
Excellent cleanse there on Daisy, getting him out of the way. And now they do get to zone this shrine, and at level 9 just being hit, there's no way 1.4 is even going to try. They're going to let this happen, spread out, get someone in every lane, and just kill the Punisher if you can, but they're probably going to lose a 4, I'd have to say.
Yeah, they need to hit 10 as soon as possible because they're going to have their heroics to actually deal with the Punisher push. They're actually going to like basically trade here. I think that's a good choice. Oh, Hitman is going to get knocked out by Mighty Roar here.
Yeah, that was a really nice move. To pick her off right now, that's big because they need to be gaining advantage elsewhere. This fort goes down. The gate now is probably going to be going down as well.
This is actually so risky to Hearth here because Sundering is active, and look at that. Oh, actually got back. I thought he died because he was off the minimap. I was like, see, he's done.
Oh, man.
He escaped, though. All right, this is actually a bit of an awkward position for Mighty because Daisy is available here, jumping in right at the front. A big Blessed Shield going to take out Mighty BG as well. Minapong goes down. Daisy survives a bit longer here.
Oh, nice Divine Palm right there. Now Stitches does go in Ring of Frost, taking a lot of damage. But it looks like they will go ahead, take out Blessing as well. And the Punisher getting Jaina into the follow-up stun?
Oh,
what?
And nearly got hooked as well.
Oh, my God.
And there's an ace for your Artosis. And that actually will guarantee them a keep here. That was a really crazy set of exchanges. I feel like the raw stats from the 2-level advantage was kind of what eventually won that fight out for Mighty. But, you know, Jungman making some sick plays. But we also saw that Divine Palm was quite powerful as well. I think both teams really exchanged exactly as they should, but the level lead was what won out the fight for Mighty.
You know, that kind of crazy what we're watching here. This was an 8-minute keep kill, so that's a big deal. And now it's level 13 with Kael'thas on your team. This is an issue for 1.4. What do they even do here to come back?
It's going to be tough. I think that this is all going to rely on Kerrigan and Kharazim. Now, there's a few chain stuns that are available to 1.4. Like, they could actually drop Blessed Shield to lock some people into place, and Kerrigan could do a big sweep into a Blizzard. Once you get to 16 as well, that's really powerful, but that's a long way away.
You know, I like what you're saying, though. Like, a Ring of Frost with the Blessed Shield and then Kerrigan just kind of cleaning up could do absolute wonders here. So, we'll have to see if Mighty Roar can Mighty can, you know, somehow stop that from happening. But Sunder does go down right now. A lot of damage being put up, and it looks like Daisy will fall instantly.
Minapong nearly falls as well, but look, there's a follow-up Ring of Frost. It's not actually going to connect. Minapong will go down next. Suri looks to be the next to fall. Dies to the Phoenix. Blessing being body blocked as well. And you know you got problems when Thrall's body blocking you like that. 4 kills here for free.
Just fantastic play out of Team Mighty. Really, really one-sided so far in this game. It hasn't looked for really more than the first couple minutes like 1.4 had a chance this game.
I want to talk about the early game a little bit. I feel like the big player in this game was actually Greymane, because he was stealing so many of those minions with his Ghanaian cocktails that allowed them to stay in lane and get more EXP and get 10 faster, or get 7 faster actually, and then which led to them getting 10.
That's a really good point, because Kong was actually down clearing a siege camp as well as a big wave, which helped them to give that. And like, for instance, if they had to bring Kong up, that's a big issue, because then they're losing their towers. Their opposing team is not only hitting 10 at like a closer rate, but maybe even faster at that point. So definitely Greymane has done a lot of work this game.
Absolutely, and now with this level lead, I mean, he's actually got quite a lot of free roam to do damage, or free reign, I should say. Kale is actually going to solo this. He's trying to drag these guys together. Oh, he's going to save it. It looks like he wants to use it a little bit later on. Sori's going to get caught here and blown up. Huge overextension there. I don't even know what to say about that one.
Oh, man, it looks like BDG jumping on Hitman. Hitman does end up falling. Blessing so low right now, but does end up running through.
Didn't even use his go for the throat. He's just saving it. Actually, no, he did use it. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, they get the Punisher now as well.
Yep, the Punisher active, and it's going to push down this mid keep easily.
Yeah, I mean, this game is all but decided at this point. There's just too much power right now coming out of Mighty. And they even have that next tier advantage by the time 1.4 hits level 13.
Well, look at this, just, oh, Blessing, avoid that. Here's a huge opportunity for Daisy, but, oh man, it's not going to go off. She gets up at the front.
Oh, they might end up getting Kael'thas, and Kale does end up going down. Well, the Divine Palm goes on Daisy, but absolutely wasn't needed then. That was very premature.
Very premature, and the Punisher has something to say about it. He's pretty upset about Kael'thas' death. Will actually just take Daisy out himself. Minipong just trying to make something happen here. I think there's just, I mean, look at this. There's 3 or 4 siege minions. I couldn't even count them. 3 up here at the front. I think this is actually just going to be game over here.
That's a pretty big deal. That's a lot of damage going on in the core, but it does look like Mindpang does end up getting a kill there on Greymane, but who cares? It's still very much Mighty in the lead.
Well, everyone's excited for the Wizard coming out. Nobody knows when she's coming out, but it was a cool drawing there.
Yeah, I hear Li Ming is like Kael'thas level good.
Yeah, I played her a little bit in PTR. Pretty fun stuff.
Yeah, I haven't gotten to yet. Is she good?
Yeah, really good.
Nice.
I think probably like I'm not good enough to play her to her full potential, but I want to see his Korean pros use her.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be really fun. Definitely shake up the meta quite a bit if we have a Kael'thas level assassin. So
absolutely. Well, we did see that at this point Mighty decided to back off and not really go, too over committal on the core with the low respawn timers.
Nice hook try there by Jongman.
All right, Daisy again in a decent position to make something happen here, but the Sun Ring is going to catch her, and down she's going to fall. The Divine Palm actually barely going off there.
Yeah, it looked like it wasn't going to for a moment, but it doesn't really matter, does it? It just falls immediately thereafter.
Oh, and Minipong actually trying to recall in the worst possible spot with vision there from Greymane.
Well, with only Blessing left over, this definitely could be a finish.
I think so. I think
and it looks like that's where they're going with it, too.
Yeah, they're going to walk in here. At least they're going to try to push this wave further. 3 catapults and a bruiser camp pushing down the mid lane. Definitely going to make this a little bit easier. Blessing probably going to escape here, but it won't matter. This core is already out of shields. It's at 62%, and it'll go down with the Phoenix on it as well. And Blessing is just messing around here.
Siege camp and all, yeah. Blessing just doing what he can, getting his stats up for the end of the